Okay, today we're going to be making a seafood chowder. Now this is my favourite seafood dish because it's like a medley of all different types of seafood. So you've got things like prawns, salmon, white fish, and sometimes I even throw some mussels in there. So we're going to start by chopping up the leeks. So you'll need to get 2 small or 1 large leek and then chop it into slices. And again, it's important just to rinse the leek if when you chop into it you find there's some dirt in there as well. The next step once you've chopped and washed your leeks is to get yourself a large saucepan and then stick it on a hob. Stick some oil in there and then just let that heat up for a minute or so. And actually whilst that's heating up, as with most things I like garlic with my food, so I'm also going to finely chop a garlic clove as well. So we'll just put that garlic in and then put the leeks in as well. And you'll need to stir the leeks for about 5 minutes until they begin to turn a bit paler. So the leeks are still simmering away and they've been doing that for about 5 minutes now. So in the meantime you might as well prepare the potatoes as well. So I've got about 500 grams of new potatoes and you'll just need to either slice them in half or quarters depending on how big they are. But you want them into chunks about that size. We then need to add those new potatoes into the pan with the leeks. And then you need to add your litre of fish stock. Now if you don't have fish stock, you can also use chicken stock as well. And we now need to leave that to simmer for between 10 and 15 minutes. And that is when your potatoes have started to go tender. So we'll come back then and check they're cooked after about 10 minutes. This has been simmering for about 10 minutes now, so I'm just going to cut into one of the potatoes and check that it's cooked. Next thing we need to do is then take about half of the ingredients out of here and then put it in a blender. And the reason we're going to blend it is because it will thicken the mixture up as well. Now you can use things like cream, but if you want to keep it a bit healthier, this is the best way to do it. So we're just going to get a slotted instrument of some description. Just pour that in. And once those potatoes have been blended, that will thicken the mixture up nicely. That should do. If you find the mixture is a little bit dry, just pour some stock in there as well, which you'll probably most likely have to do, which will make it a little bit easier to blend as well. So that is perfect, that's exactly how we want it. And then we're just going to add that back into the pan with the other potatoes and leeks again. Now give that a good stir to combine it back with the ingredients. And then the next step is we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, apart from the chives, back to the pan. So we're going to be adding some salmon. So I took 2 small fillets, cut them into chunks, and then we'll add that. And then any mixture of white fish, so I'm using cod here. I just used 1 fillet of that, because it doesn't really hold as much flavour as your other types of fish you'll be using. Cut that into chunks and then add that to the pan as well. And then get your broccoli. And then just chop the heads off, making sure it's washed of course. I like to put the heads of 1 broccoli stalk in. Throw in a generous handful of sweet corn, and you can use frozen sweet corn if you want as well, that's not a problem. I'm going to throw in some prawns. And then finally I'm going to put the zest of 1 lemon in as well, so just get yourself a cheese grater and grate that into the pan. And then give it everything a really good stir and make sure everything's covered. Now if you're using raw prawns, you'll need to put those in a bit sooner just to make sure they're cooked through, but these ones are actually cooked beforehand. Also, if you do want to make it a little bit creamier, I sometimes add a dash of milk as well. And then all you need to do is leave that to simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I know when it's done because I'll check the broccoli to see if that's cooked through. When it does come up to simmering point, just add some seasoning as well. So I'm just going to grind in some salt and put a pinch of pepper in as well. And we can always do a taste test later to see if it needs any more. Whilst that's simmering away, I'm just going to prepare a handful of chives to serve with the chowder. And all you need to do there is just to finely chop it so it's ready to serve when you serve it up. This has been simmering away for about 10 minutes now, and I've just checked and the broccoli is cooked through as well. So that's now ready to serve into a bowl. And just serve up some of the liquid with that as well. And sprinkle on some fresh chives and enjoy.